We Biafrans are the lost tribe of Israel. I'm here to tell you the true origin of the Biafrans, which is the Igbos. Let me begin according to Genesis 29 verse 30. Jacob had 12 sons, namely Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Gad was the seventh son of Jacob. According to Genesis 46 verse 16, Gad has 7 sons, namely Haggai, Zephon, Shuni, Esbon, Eri, Arodi, and Areri. Sometime in the Middle East, famine struck, and Jacob moved with his family and other 70 relations to Egypt. But before then, Joseph, who was the 11th son of Jacob, had been sold by his brothers to Egypt, where he was made governor general under a king Pharaoh. As time goes on, the Pharaoh that knows Joseph died, and they started suffering persecutions from the hands of the Egyptians. Eri, the 5th son of Gad, foresaw the danger, persecutions, suffering, and wickedness coming. He decided to live on time with his 2 younger brothers, Arodi and Areri, with their half-brothers. They traveled through Ethiopia, Sudan, and downward West Africa through River Nile, and landed in a place known as Aguleri today, through Omambala River in Anambra State, around 1305 BC. Eri established and lived very close to Omambala River. He was wealthy and wise, just like his great-grandfather Abraham. And this is the reason why Anambra has the highest number of rich people in Africa. Eri gave birth to 5 sons, namely Agolo, Ata, Oba, Hebrew, and Mary. Agolo, as the first son of Eri, stayed back and established Aguleri in Anambra State. Ata moved upward north and established Igala Kingdom, and this is the reason why their overall chief is known as Ata of Igala in Kogi State. Oba left and founded Oba Kingdom in Anambra State. Hebrew, which was later changed to mean Igbo or Hebrew, he was a very powerful and spiritual man, and this is the reason why people from this area are always spiritual. He left and founded Igbo Etiti, Igbo Adagbe, and Igbo Eze within Nsukka and part of Anambra State. Mary left and founded Agukunri, Nri Kingdom. Arodi, which is the 6th son of God, left and founded Arochukwu, very industrious, good at art and craft. Example, Abangwa people of Aba. Arodi gave birth to Nembe, Ngwa, Ogoni, Abakaliki, Afikpo, Aro Aket Ekpene, which is Akwa Ibom, Aro Echi, which is River State, and Aro Ndizogu. During slave trade, Aro spreaded all over the world, America, Brazil, and Cuba. And Aro festival has always been celebrated in Cuba till today. Areri, which is the 7th son of God, was a man with a lot of wisdom. The native tongue of his descendants is what you have today as Central Igbo. People from this area has the highest number of graduates and professors in Igbo land. He gave birth to Owerri, Umuahia, Diobu, Okigwe, Elele, and Mbano, while Eri's half-brothers left and founded Ijao nationality and part of Edo State and many parts of Niger Delta. Evidence and similarities. Now, to verify some of those things I have mentioned above, go to Aguleri. There is a particular house known as Obogad. That is House of God. This Obogad in honor of their father Gad, the 7th son of Israel. Remember, Gad was the 7th son of Jacob. Go to Genesis 29 verse 30. And Gad has 7 sons, of which the last 3 were Eri, Arodi, and Areri, with their half-brothers that left Egypt to downward West Africa. Go to Genesis 46 verse 16. This Obogad was the first house to be built in Igbo land, and this is the reason why every man in Igbo land always built a place in his house known as Obi or Obo, in honor of his father, and mainly for relaxation. And in the olden days, there's always a family shrine or little oracle, and they worshipped oracle then because their father left Egypt before God gave the 10 commandments to Moses for the Israelites, of which one of the 10 commandments is against idol worshiping. Even though modern day Igbos built Obi or Obo as outside bar without any shrine, while some Christians don't build Obi anymore because of their belief. This can also be called Eri Temple. This Obo god also serves as a concentration place for royal fathers, which have direct route to Eri. Secondly, at the burial site of Eri, there is a Trinity tree. At the burial place of Eri, there is a Trinity tree standing on the grave site. These are 3 trees, but are strongly united and connected by a single taproot. Ada means first daughter in Israel. Go to Genesis chapter 4, verse 19 and 20, and it means the same thing in Igbo language. When an Igbo man is making opinion in public gathering, he will shout Igbo Queen, and the people will respond by saying Yah. Yah is a short form of Yahweh. Yahweh is the name of Jewish God. The Israelites manufacture 80% of world weapons and 70% of USA weapons, just like the Igbos manufacture 80% of the weapons used during Biafra War, of which no African nation had ever done. The Igbos were only defeated due to hunger policy. By now, we should have been manufacturing war weapons for Africa, and no country should have gone outside Africa to purchase war weapons to fight insurgency, if not for the bad policy of Nigeria. The Igbos are the most highly technologically inclined people in the whole Africa. You can also find out that they always manage the post of science and technology and industries in many Nigerian ministerial posts. The first West African billionaire is from Nnewi, Chief Laius Ojukwu. The black indigenous vehicle manufacturer, example, Kosharis Motors and Enosin Motors. The indigenous mobile phone and computer manufacturer, example, Slok Mobile is owned by Nna Ojuzokanu. Zynos Computer is owned by Stanley Eke, and Slok Mobile is owned by Nnamdi Ezigbo, the father of internet and the founder of fastest computer in the whole world, Philip Emeagwali. We carry our dead ones home just like the Israelites. Go to Genesis chapter 49, verse 29, verse 30 to chapter 50. Just like the Israelites, we are ruled or led by elders and priests. Israelite has no king until Samuel anointed Saul to become the king of Israelites. And that is the reason why the Israelite was led by Prophet Moses and many other prophets. Conclusion. Israeli ambassador Nuakez confirmed that the Igbos are Jews. Check Daily Sun newspaper 2004. Therefore, the Igbos are the block engine and Japan of Africa. No wonder an author with international reputation, Emefiena Nnia, said that in Biafra, Africa died. We love our neighbors. We accommodate everybody. We can live everywhere and develop anywhere. It is in our blood to develop. We are God's people, a choosing generation. Let Nigeria stop the marginalization of the Igbos and Biafra, or let them have their freedom. As for the Igbos, we should know whom we are. We are God's people, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We should aim and think bigger and work harder as it is in our blood. And let every parent endeavor to teach their children Igbo language and culture. May Chukwu Kikabia be with you all.
You say?